Print, email, Facebook, Twitter. More Cuban plane crash leaves more than 100 dead. State media says media player, space to play, M to mute, left and right to seek, 00:001:060:000:0001:06. A Cuban-operated airliner with at least 110 people aboard has crashed and burned in a field just after takeoff from the Havana airport. The ruling Communist Party newspaper, Granma, said there were 3 survivors. The aircraft, on a domestic flight to Holguin in eastern Cuba, crashed shortly after taking off from Havana. State TV said the jet veered sharply to the right after leaving the runway. There were 105 passengers, including 5 children, and 9 crew members on board. There is a high number of people who appear to have died, Cuban President Miguel Díaz-Canel said from the scene, adding that the survivors were seriously injured. Things have been organized, the fire has been put out, and the remains have been identified. Mr. Díaz-Canel said authorities were investigating the cause of the crash. Wreckage was strewn over the area 20 kilometers south of Havana, a witness said, and blackened parts of the fuselage were visible. Relatives of those aboard were ushered into a private area at the terminal to await word on their loved ones. "My daughter is 24, my God, she's only 24," cried Beatriz Pantoja, whose daughter Leticia was on the plane. "The only thing we heard, when we were checking in, an explosion. The lights went out in the airport and we looked out and saw black smoke rising and they told us a plane had crashed," Argentine tourist Brian Hornbina said at the airport. "Skies were overcast and rainy at the airport at the time of the incident. We heard an explosion and then saw a big cloud of smoke go up," said Gilberto Menendez, who runs a restaurant near the crash site in the agricultural area of Boyeros. Carlos Alberto Martinez, the director of Havana's Calixto Garcia Hospital, said 4 victims of the accident had been brought there. 1 had died and 3 others, all women, were in a serious condition, he said. "She is alive but very burnt and swollen," said a distressed relative of one of the survivors at the hospital. The flight was leased by Airline Cubana from a small Mexican airline called Damajor Global, Cuban state media said. Holguin has some of the island's most pristine beaches, and attracts tourists. Cubana declined to comment. A damage representative in Mexico said, "We are gathering what we can to give correct information." The nationality of those on board was not immediately clear. State media said that the crew were foreign, but provided no further details. Flight tracking websites indicated the flight was CU 972, departing Havana at 11 a.m. local time. Reuters, AP, Print, email, Facebook.